The O'Reilly Factor's on tonight.
It looks like she's just taunting everybody. Maybe she likes risk, but what the hell is she doing?
Donald Trump criticizing the anti-Muslim group for igniting violence in Texas. Tonight we'll analyze the best way to defeat the Jihad.
What difference at this point does it make?
Hillary Clinton agreeing to testify again about the murder of the American ambassador in Benghazi, Libya. Also, Mrs. Clinton says she wants amnesty for illegal aliens. Is it legal? On the case.
Unfortunately, the president is the face of global white privilege, too.
And radical college professors becoming bolder, especially in the race arena. Tonight, some shocking undercover video.
Racism is central to America.
Caution. You are about to enter the no-spin zone. Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Defeating the Jihad by not being dumb. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. The Garland, Texas Police Department is keeping secret the name of the hero cop who shot two jihadists dead on Sunday. That, of course, for his own protection, as radical Muslims are a dire threat. We all know that. Now there is a controversy over whether the anti-Muslim group who ignited the situation did a foolish or a noble thing. Donald Trump weighed in on the group's leader, Pamela Geller.
It looks like she's just taunting everybody. What is she doing with drawing Muhammad? And it looks like she's actually taunting people. You know, I'm one that believes in free speech probably more than she does. But what's the purpose of this?
Mr. Trump is correct by setting up a contest and awarding $10,000 for a depiction of the Prophet Muhammad. The American Freedom Defense Initiative spurred a violent incident. That wasn't smart, even though the group has its supporters. Mike, I'm withholding his last name, in Fairbanks, Alaska, wrote, Megyn Kelly was completely right and you were completely wrong, O'Reilly. An event like this should be held daily. If the Muslim world doesn't like it, tough. Insulting the entire Muslim world is stupid, Mike. It does not advance the cause of liberty or get us any closer to defeating the savage jihad. May not have noticed, but some Muslim countries are now fighting ISIS and Al-Qaeda themselves. Jordan and Egypt, two of the most powerful. So, Mike, you think it's a smart strategy to insult the Muslim countries of Jordan and Egypt by besmirching their religious icon? Do you? Now, the group that did the insulting says it's entitled to profane Muhammad because in the Islamic religion, any kind of depiction of him is a sin. They say they can do that in America because of freedom of speech. Well, that's true. They have the right to do it here. But again, it's stupid. It accomplishes nothing. There has been no program stronger than the factor in speaking out against the jihad. We've severely criticized the Obama administration for being too timid and for allowing atrocities to go unpunished. So don't give me I'm soft on the jihad. I'm not. They deserve to be neutralized, removed from the planet. If President Obama was serious about fighting these fanatics, he would actually mobilize the 60 nations that have allegedly signed on to fight ISIS. But instead, it's a big fraud. We all know that. The world continues to do nothing. But insulting a religion with more than 1 billion followers worldwide doesn't advance the cause of defeating the fanatical jihadists. It hurts the cause. Does it not? And that's the memo. Now for the top story tonight reaction. Joining us from Washington, Ms. Laura Ingraham. And you say?
I think on this one, Bill, I have to agree with you. The idea that it is going to be beneficial to us, and I come at it from a traditionalist conservative perspective. I'm a Roman Catholic, you're a Roman Catholic. The idea that it's beneficial to us as Americans to criticize an entire faith in this way. I'm not talking about debate about, theology, a substantive understanding, a substantive debate. That's different. But to do what was done at this convention, I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but, the contest, the, artistic conference, it not only doesn't accomplish anything, I think it could actually make things worse for us. And I know conservatives watching this across the country are like, I can't believe Ingram's coddling the Islamists.
No, I don't think. I think some do that. But if you really think about it, the position that you're taking and that I'm taking is what's best for the country, not the emotional position. But right. Look, The argument is, well, this is freedom of speech. Okay,
well, yeah, of course it is.
But that freedom of speech is not in play. Group had a right to do what it did. It went down in Texas, and it went to the same place where there was a pro-Muslim conference to make a point. I don't have any problem with that. All right, but they set up a demeaning situation intentionally to inflame radical Muslims. And that, what if a baby had been shot in the crossfire, which could have absolutely happened except for this Garland, Texas hero cop? What if a baby had been shot? Okay, would it have been worth it? No. So you have to look at the big picture. Go ahead.
Right, and I think Pope Francis got this right when he talked about the fact that, look, freedom of speech is limited. He didn't mean, by the way, that freedom of speech as we understand it as a constitutional matter is limited necessarily. He was saying that, look, we have free will. There are a lot of things that we can say, that we have a right to say, that we shouldn't say. Right. We shouldn't unnecessarily insult people, personal attacks. Look, everybody jokes and we have satirical representation. I get that. But in this case, if we want to be respected, have our mutual understanding respected, our faiths respected, I don't want the Virgin Mary smeared in dung. Now, do you have a right to do that? Yes, you do. Of course you do. I'd support your right to do it, but I'm going to say it is number one, rude. It's unnecessary. It's not really that artistic, and it's stupid. And so we as Christians, we don't go up and shoot up an artistic display in Brooklyn or anywhere else where it's going to happen, but we raise the point. The problem here, Bill, is the double standard of the left. The left now wants to say, "Oh, this is outrageous. You can't circumscribe speech. Religion should be mocked and satirized. We support the mocking of certain faiths, but in this case, there are a lot of liberals out there saying, "Oh, Pamela Geller went too far." So there is the double standard on the left, but then your point, I think, is right. I don't believe anything good comes of this, except maybe to find out there are a couple jihadists in this country that we now have dead, which frankly is a good thing, and we need to know who else is in the country. So maybe that's one benefit that came about. Yeah, but you don't flush
them out by putting innocent people in danger.
No,
again, if it wasn't for this police officer.
They put innocent people in danger, though. They're the ones who shot up the event, not Pamela Geller or her group.
Right, but you want to be circumspect in what you point. That was a good point. Look, just because you can say it doesn't mean you should say it. If there is a point to taking on, and we have done that here, we have said Muslim leaders across the world have not nearly been brave enough to take on the killers. All right?
Yeah.
We've looked them in the eye and we've said that. But to demean for the sake of demeaning their religion is foolish. Last word.
And I also think, Bill, there are a lot of reasonable Muslims around the world who don't much like what's happening around the world, and they're not cheering on the beheading of Christians. Maybe they're not doing enough, and I believe me, I'm out there on that issue. We need them to help us where they can. This makes it more difficult for them to do what is necessary to help our law enforcement, our efforts around the world, and at home, frankly. And so, look, I support their right to do this. I wouldn't do it. Right. I don't think Christians should be cheering this on. I don't think anything good comes of it.
All right, Laura, thank you. Next on the rundown, the Baltimore rioting knocked the ISIS atrocities off the news cycle, but there's bad stuff going on. Colonel Ralph Peters will update us. Then later, Hillary Clinton saying she wants amnesty for illegal aliens, and she'll testify once again about Benghazi. Factors coming right back.